What you doing?
Perk, this how them skinny dudes be wearing it. The dudes with the muscles, they be.
Look, we back. Swagu, what's happening? First
my wife asking me, first of all, my wife asking me how my lighting look. And I'm sitting here telling I'm about to start the damn podcast, babe.
Hey, dog, you look good. The beard look good.
You see that
everything look 100. Hey, on the cool, I actually like this setting because it looked like you kind of wanting to come to the dark side. We'll talk about that on another episode. That's Joe Burrow and the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll talk about you coming over to the dark side on another time. I gotta give you a shout out.
Hold on, man. Turn sideways right quick. Let me see something. Oh, that boy.
Hey, every
he put it on.
Hey, you see how I did?
He say I'm gonna get clean. Because that weight, you can't just turn fast. That weight.
Look, listen. I did a juicing this weekend where I was nothing but juice. I dropped 7 pounds. I got a haircut. I was like, you know what? Let me pull these old earrings out a little bit. I've been wearing them, but I kind of shined them up with some Windex, but it's all good, though. It's all good. Look.
Hey, humming, boy.
Shout out to you, because listen, them 9.5s had me popping, and I had to let Swagu. Matter of fact, 9.5, y'all watching this podcast now, y'all, the price then went up for Swagu now.
It is not yesterday's.
And it's not yesterday, so I'm going to just let y'all know. But look, I've been missing you. All right?
My man.
You know what's crazy? Let me say this before we start. I went on, I wouldn't say a tour, but I went on as a guest on other people's podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I went on All the Smoke. I went on I Am Athlete.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing is, bro? Is everybody was like, oh yeah, Perk, I love what you said on there, but hey, when you dropping the next episode of you and Swagu, and I said, oh, that's ours. That's ours. Look, I'm a guest here, and yes, I'm a come, and I ain't gonna never disappoint. You know,
make myself at home.
Yeah, but when I come here, this is ours. But yeah, bro, I want to tell you this. I was going through. Hold on, dog. Hold on.
The emotions went off.
I'm in the ESPN studio. You know things happen. The sensor lights. Hold on. This is good TV.
Hey, get the lights on, man. I see you when you stood up too. You're looking real. You're looking real cut.
Hey, listen. I got it back right. All right. So look,
that juice, get it out. You know.
Yeah, I was getting it out here. So check this out. Went on juicing. I had the best day ever in the airport. The best day. I flew Delta. So you go to a different terminal.
It's a beautiful.
I didn't even give people the whole story. So I'm going through the security line. I'm there I'm earlier than I usually be. So I'm like, man, what I'm about to eat? Get ready to eat because I done been on this 2-day juicing.
You went to that lounge?
Man, I run dead into the Breakfast Club.
No.
So yes, Swagu. So I go and order me the fried catfish with the side of grits.
You can't help it.
Yeah, and I killed it. So now I hear the announcement. I'm sitting there enjoying my meal one deep. I hear the announcement, calling last, whatever for the board, whatever. So I go to my gate, get on, people all polite, walk on, nice old flight attendant lady. She's so cool. She like, where you want to sit at? They had open seats. So I'm going to sit here. Oh, give me a bag. I'll put it up for you.
Oh, man, it ain't it the best?
Yeah, and then when I sat down, she says, you want something to drink? I said, yes, ma'am. She was like, she bought me 5 sodas, dog, in a row. Diet Coke. But it was like, because I don't know what the problem is, but they don't never want to give you the can.
Yeah, the whole thing. They want to pour it.
They want to pour it in there.
Yeah, I don't even be trusting them cups like that.
I'm a big dude. So I'm knocking them down. She steady bringing them. I ain't even asking for them. She just refill it. I'm like, oh, I look up. They got a TV screen, but it was just a beautiful flight. That's why I'm committed to Delta, okay? One,
You went all the way to the left coast on there, straight.
yeah.
Oh,
And it's because of this, okay? The simple fact that one, your United crew got lost last week, which was still very disturbing and concerning to me.
I still don't know what happened.
Yeah, like getting lost, that's just something that, we can't comprehend
like them people.
With them people. But look, I miss you, dog. It's a lot to get into. We had us a little interaction on Twitter yesterday, and you had to prove me wrong about the football because I thought the game was over. We go get into that, but I thought the game was over with the Bengals and the Chiefs.
I know you did.
Said he's not built like that. It's not in him. He's, talking about that boy Joe Rowe. That's his nickname.
Joe Thorough, Joe.
Well, what's the piece and chain say? Joe Thorough or Joe Rowe? Or what?
It say Joe B, I think.
I don't know what it says. I don't know,
but he looks good.
I need to hear something before we get into there. I need to hear you. It's one particular topic that I need to talk about with basketball. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't even watched basketball yesterday, and I don't give a damn how people feel about it.
We'll catch up.
Football was great. The New York Knicks, okay, and just the backstory. The New York Knicks was a team that finished top 5, number 4 last year in the Eastern Conference. Okay, went to the playoffs. Julius Randle, most improved, first-time All-Star. Now we get to the Knicks right now, struggling. Julius Randle, pouting, going back and forth with fans, not showing up to the press conferences, interviews after games. I need to know how you feel about this because he's been a distraction. And I need you to dive into it. I know you locked in because it's playoffs, and I know Super Bowl.
I got you.
But I need you to dive in and tell me what the hell is going on and what you feel about these Knicks and Julius Randle. I need to hear.
Well, I listen to a lot about the New York Knicks. I listen to when they win a couple games, it's like they won the damn championship. And when they lose games, Knicks fans hate them. Mm-hmm. And they can't do nothing right. I remember when they got Worldwide West to come in. Tibbs coming, defensive coach. You taught me about Tibbs' defensive mind. That's why Kimba had to sit down earlier in the year because they just wasn't getting enough from him on that side of the floor. What I feel about Julius Randle is this. Bro, you don't realize that you in the New York market and you the best basketball player for the New York Knicks, and you're not gonna capitalize on this. Like this is the route that you're gonna take. And I understand, bro. Everybody's happiness ain't me and your happiness, Perk, right? But when you done balled out and you got a bag and you play in the Garden, like I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, and I'm saying to myself, young, crazy talent, got the ability to really become their new Patrick Ewing. That's who he could become. Ooh. With his attitude, how physical he wants to be, but the commitment, bro. Like, and Perk, we done talked about this before, man. It's just this generation is different, bro. Like it's just, and I hate saying, how much I hate saying it because people, y'all old school and they don't do it like
it ain't got nothing to do with
nothing to do with that, bro. It's really just like, dude, you got the world in your hands. Like you have the world in you got New York market. You play for the New York Knicks. You a 9-figure basketball player. And you tripping.
How many figures?
9, bro. 9. And I just can't wrap my head around, as a competitor, as an NBA basketball player, as an elite athlete, with all of the things going on with the New York Knicks, this is the perfect time for you to become the face. Mm. And so, Perk, I'm not approaching it from a basketball standpoint. I'm just talking about, hey, if I had to pull Julius to the side, I'll say young killer. You in New York, bro. You play with the Knicks. Imagine if you that dude, before they get another superstar, before they put a team around you, and you went through the hard times, you forever good in that market. You forever good in Madison Square Garden. But what I see, Perk, and unfortunately, I gotta preface it this way. You pouting, dude. And I'm like, it's professional sports. It's gonna suck sometimes. It's hard. But dog, you got the world in your hands.
Come on.
I'm gonna leave it at that, bro. Because it's frustrating to me watching so many dudes try to get their shot. Like really having to, like, they got to play on terrible teams just to get an opportunity to play in the NBA. And I know everybody's situation ain't apples to apples, and everybody got, but dog, you come on, Julius, come on, man.
Yeah. You let me start off by saying this, and everything you said as usual is 100% accurate,
bro.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have. Julius Randle should have came into this season. It's almost like going in AutoZone. I thought he would have had a battery from AutoZone built for a Cadillac Escalade, but he came with a battery for a Ford Focus.
Ford Focus, man.
And it's just not right. See, here's the thing. He signed on that dotted line for that contract extension. It wasn't a problem then. And now all of a sudden you hit a little adversity, you're losing, and now all of a sudden things ain't going Julius Randle way. Let me tell you why he's pouting. He's pouting because the Knicks did what they were supposed to do this offseason and went out and tried to go get him help.
Yeah,
like Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. And so what ended up happening is now Julius Randle, guess what you got to do? You got to become more efficient.
Yep.
And he haven't elevated his game to that. So now it's not him pounding the rock, pounding the hell out of the ball, all Julius Randle.
Everybody
watch me. No, you have to be more efficient in what you do. So now it's almost like he's sitting back saying, I'm getting it. I can't play my game no more. Nah, it ain't that. You can play your game, but just adjust. That's what the real ones do. They adjust. But I'm going to just keep it all the way real with you. See, this is why I mess with Joel Embiid much more than I mess with a lot of other guys. It's because of his mental.
He a dog.
They booed Joel Embiid in Philly. They booed him at one point. Them boos turned into MVP chants. Julius Randle, you made a great point. Do you understand, dog, that you're in the Mecca?
Bro.
No matter what the Knicks have done over the last decade and a half.
Truth be told, they like the Cowboys. People always gonna watch it.
And you got an opportunity to capitalize if you perform on making a whole lot of money outside of basketball. So now you cutting right into your pocketbooks. But I'm gonna say this because you touched on a lot. It's time to part ways. It's time to part ways because when you see the team in the huddle and you see Tibbs call a timeout and you see him wandering around the outside, now all of a sudden you becoming a counselor.
Yeah, bro.
And now all of a sudden you got to realize what you have on that team. You have Emmanuel Quickly, who's a young guy. You have Obi Toppin, who's not young in age but he's a young guy in the NBA. Like, these guys are looking up to you as the veteran leader, or quote unquote, the franchise guy as of right now. It's time for them to part ways, include RJ Barrett. So if I'm the Knicks, this is what I do. RJ Barrett has really surprised the hell out of me. He's been balling.
He's been playing well, yeah.
I part ways. I find a trade right now for Julius Randle before his stock goes down and I could get back some stuff that I want. And I just part ways to end the relationship. And that's how that go. I end the relationship.
Well, bro, listen, I have, when it gets to the point, to your point of it becoming a cancer and a distraction, you got to part ways.
You got to.
You think Houston wanted to get rid of James Harden?
No.
But he became a distraction, became a cancer to the locker room. Even I remember in that particular time, they kept asking DeMarcus Cousins, and Cousins was like, "Man, look, if you ain't here, you ain't with us." No, you remember all that? So for me, it's like, bro, it's a short window. What I'm trying to say to Julius, it's a short window, bro. I know you thinking I'm gonna play the NBA forever. I'm gonna be here for a long time, bro. It's a short window. We just saw $100 million players fall off, Perk. Quickly. So I'm glad you talked to the young, like you giving them some game on this podcast. I agree with you, because when it becomes a thing that you have to do and have to pay attention to, there is no way forward. If we beyond basketball and we can't talk to you, if you don't want to be a part of what we're trying to get accomplished, even though I know it's bad right now, you got to show us through the bad times that you that dude, because when the good times come, we're going to need you to have that same type of energy.
No, anyway, absolutely.
Yeah, bro, that was difficult for me because he's such a talented young player with New York at his fingertips. So
right. So I'm just scrolling through Twitter on our interactions yesterday. We'll just go lead to our next topic. Okay, you tweeted out yesterday.
Oh, we about to go to football?
Yeah, we're going to football. We're going to that beautiful football. And we're going to one man and one man only. Okay? And that's just Joe Rowe, Joe B, JB, whatever you want to call him. He has the swag. He has everything about him. And hey, look, one thing about it, you better not count him out, okay? So they were down. I believe it was what, 21-10?
21-3.
21-3. It was 21-3. And you was the only person that tweeted out,
I said,
Joe will not go out quietly. That's what you said, right? I said, that's the LSU in you, big bro. I believe that he's dead bird, tall grass, bro. You said, now I done told you about this man, and you still ain't go listen. So go ahead and take over. That's what you told me. So go ahead and take over. Now, real quick, bro, I ain't gonna even, let me say this, because I'm not gonna chime in much. I want to hear what you gotta say. The Bengals keep showing up, and every week I keep saying, nah, they ain't gonna win. They ain't that good. And they just keep winning. They keep turning up. And I keep saying, okay, enough is enough. Like, you know, forget all that. Yeah, dog. So Joe Burrow, Chase, we already know that they that bad news. What's in that water? I need you to break down and tell the world what's going down with this Cincinnati Bengals and JB.
Listen, bro.
Jay Bizzle, Joey B, White Boy Rick from the movie. Like, dude, so per here, psychologically, he's Tom Brady. Okay. And I said that, and it was controversial in his rookie year. I said that before he got injured. And I also tweeted out a year ago that Cincinnati, if you do right by this kid, you're going to win a few Super Bowls. Right? I remember that.
Because
I remember you saying that too.
Because I had to go defend it. And I'm like, what are y'all not watching that I'm watching?
Right.
Like, but ultimately, bro, even at LSU, I'll never forget. I was before the 2019 season when they won the national championship, I sat down and did an interview with Joe Burrow before the season. And Perk, the man looked me in my eye as clear as day and said, we're going to win the national championship. It wasn't a flinch. It wasn't no blink. It wasn't no doubt. I was like, I asked the question, expecting, the run-of-the-mill answer.
Right.
I said, Joe, what's the expectations for this team? His response was, we are going to win the national championship. I was like, oh, Perk, now you know me and you ain't never lost for words. But I'm looking across at him and I'm thinking to myself, man, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you just threw 16 touchdowns last year. That is pedestrian. To only come back and see, Perk, he wasn't speaking to everybody's else ability when he made that statement. He was talking about what he was going to do.
He was talking about himself.
Like, what I'm going to do for this team is take them to a national championship.
Come on.
So after that, I was like, he different. I kept telling people he different. And then you remember all of the weeks leading up to the Alabama when me and Stephen A had that big, back and forth. And I told Stephen A,
say it with me. Roll Tide.
Those words will never come out of my mouth.
Y'all in
Go
trouble.
Tigers.
Yeah. I remember when you, my bad. Okay, man. I remember when you walked on set with that LSU jacket. And bro, and they couldn't tell you nothing. I mean,
Tell me nothing.
No, yeah, and rightfully so, but keep going.
Producers, get out of the way.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hell no. Hell no. I let you talk. It's my time now. We say that a lot though, Perk. Me and you, we say that a lot.
We do.
But when I knew when they were going to Alabama, they always play Alabama around November 3rd, 5th, whatever of the season. And I knew, I went back and reflected on that conversation we had before the season. In my mind, I'm like, this the one you got to get to win the championship. And I remember Joe Burrow and the team, because I was in Alabama at the time. I was covering, I was still at SEC Network. I remember when they got off the bus, I looked at him, and as he was walking in, he said, we're going to get this one. Next week going to be even more important. Now, at this point, Perk, they already 7-0.
Right.
He walking into Bryant-Denny Stadium, the University of Alabama, the man looked at me and told me, we going to get this one. The one next week going to be bigger.
You
what?
You heard what he said?
Okay, so then fast forward to him in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
The man was getting killed his rookie year, Perk. He was getting hit every time he dropped back. He was getting hit. And if you remember in that season, in those losses, most of those games were fourth quarter losses.
Yeah.
Most of the time it was late game, making plays from the other team because Cincy just didn't have enough guys to get it done.
Oh, hold on.
Get your light right. Get your light right. That motion.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I'm in the studio.
Motion it. People gonna be laughing at us though.
It's all right though. It's all right.
When you, hey.
Nothing fake. It ain't nothing fake.
Listen.
It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing fake. What you doing?
Perk, this how them skinny dudes be wearing it. The dudes with the muscles, they be.
Hey, look. Hey, I'm sitting up here, right? And I had to catch my damn self. I'm sitting in this office. I got this damn pen looking like a damn news anchor. And I said, what the hell I'm doing? So I might as well just do the whole interview. I'm interviewing you today.
You interviewing me.
Yeah, I'm interviewing. Hey, leave that on too.
Oh, my God.
I'm waving my hands. The lights keep going off. You know how it is in the studio.
I know it. The motion.
Yeah,
the motion light.
The motion. I mean,
Anyway, let me get back to it. So this year, coming into the season, I'm like, this team is going to be solid. Like I was like, they may be a year or two away.
Stop.
All right.
You're missing something. This man is coming off of a horrible,
almost career ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
My man, you're right.
That is
almost coming back off a career-ending injury. And think about this too, Perk. They O-line still ain't good.
Right.
And they about to play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but what I was doing, bro, when I was tweeting that out is I've seen too much evidence to think that he out of a game now.
Right.
That's where I am with Joe Burrow. I've seen too much evidence to say, oh, they out of the game. Because
I'm with you.
Bro, playing professional sports as long as you did, some dudes just answer all the time.
All the time.
And even when they fail, it's not because of them.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So one, he got a gene that does not allow his heart rate to go over 100. He just, hey, I'm good. Just call the plays. I'm good. The second thing is, Perk, he's in football, you got to feel like your quarterback can get it done to be a good team. I'm not talking about coaches, general managers, and front office. I'm talking about players. So when you go into a game, and we had years when I was in Dallas with Romo where we felt like we could win every game because this dude playing out of his mind.
Right.
But it always was like, is this gonna be the time?
Right.
Like, is this gonna with Joe? Every Cincinnati Bengal player feels that they gonna win the game.
So let me ask you this, because I need 2 parts on this. Let me ask you this. When it comes down to Joe,
all
right, what is his ceiling for his greatness?
He'll be, when he retires from the NFL, we will talk about him being one of the top 5 quarterbacks ever.
Oh, and you know what? I'm not about to argue with you about it.
And I don't want to have, let me say this too, Perk.
Okay.
I don't want to have recency bias, right? Because the Cincinnati Bengals, he's already done enough to get a statue in front of the Bengals facility. He's done enough. Even if they don't win a Super Bowl, they should be getting this statue ready right now.
Right.
Okay. Marvin Lewis was there for 17 years, went to the playoffs, never won a playoff game.
Right.
All right. But here's the responsibility now. Cincinnati, y'all better do right by this man.
Better do right.
You only get these kind every 5-10 years, where you got a guy where you can literally say, we got a guy, every time we play, we got a chance to win the game.
I agree.
Every team can't say that. Every team can't consistently say that. Cincinnati, for the first time, I know they might have felt like this about Carson Palmer, but the bottom line is now you got a guy. Every time you play on these Sundays, Saturdays, Thursdays, Monday nights, we can win because we got that dude.
Because we got
That's Joe Burrow. That's Joe Burrow. So bro, he might not win this game. I ain't picking Cincy to win this game because that's a Swagu and Perk exclusive. All of the shows waiting on me to make a Super Bowl prediction. I'm telling you right now, I'm not picking Cincinnati to win this game. I didn't pick them to beat Kansas City. But what I will tell you is this. I'm always scared.
Always scared. Now, hold on.
I'm always scared.
Before we leave, I just got to say this. I strongly believe with Joe Burrow, with his talent, with his drip, with his mentality, and the way that everybody gravitates towards him.
Buddy.
And it's not just, and I'm talking about every race and how he does with his culture. I could see him being the face of the NFL.
Oh, he will be.
Okay,
He will be.
I just didn't want to jump.
He will be.
I didn't want to jump too deep into those.
And look, we fortunate because we in an era where we got Mahomes, we got Josh Allen, we got Lamar Jackson, we got Justin Herbert. We got a lot of young quarterbacks that we see that they are going to carry the torch for the NFL going forward.
Come on,
right? A lot of these young cats gonna be the talk of the town. They're going to be the guys that we consistently talk about being in playoff runs and championships and all of that. But ultimately, bro, Cincinnati got one of them.
Right.
We got to reprogram how we think. And I'm going to tell you, Perk, and it's going to be, we might get a different type of energy or reaction.
We don't care.
But there is a sense brewing in Cincinnati that this is like Braun when he got drafted to Cleveland.
It is. It ain't no sense. It is.
I'm just you know how people get when we start talking about Braun. I don't give a damn. I'm just telling you. Just telling you that second year about to go to the Super Bowl, went on the road and beat Tennessee. Went on the road and beat Kansas City. Now he about to play in the Super Bowl in his second year. And technically it's his first one because he lost half of his first year.
And look, you're not wrong. I've been to Cincinnati one time, and I guarantee you, Joe Burrow, he has this type of effect, and this is why I say he's going to be the face of the league, of the NFL. Watch how much when you talk about the outside build up. Watch how much start building up from condos to restaurants and people being employed. That's the LeBron James impact, and that's going to be the same impact that Joe Burrow is going to have on Cincinnati and Ohio.
And I'm glad
real deal.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it.
I'm just keeping it real. I can't wait to the Super Bowl. But look, JB, I'm going to be watching you, and I'm a huge fan. And Swagu, my apologies. I would never look.
Amen.
Look,
amen.
I'm thinking myself, I'm watching the game. I'm like, oh, yeah, this old shit. It wasn't, big bro.
You know, them old school players say, shit. That thing wasn't over, man. I was trying to tell them, man. I was trying to tell them.
What they say?
Yeah, cuz.
Hey, look. Serious note, though. Shout out to JB. Shout out to Odell Beckham, too, because
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
We're going to do a whole podcast on that.
Done and all that. We ain't going to even do that. Here's the thing that gets serious now.
Yep.
Now, look, we've been cleaning it up in the NBA. It's time for the NFL to get get their stuff together. Bro, it had this already. It's been 4 NFL coaching vacancies. All have been filled by white guys, white coaches. I mean, I'm just trying to ask you, when is it going to change? Let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. For the people on the outside, I want to know. Take us deep into the whole situation.
Yeah.
I need to know this. This is a few questions. One, does it have something to do with the Players Association? Does it have something to do with the commissioner? Because I'm going to just give you an example real quick, and then I'm going to give you the flow, big bro. Things change when our commissioner change.
Yep.
That's why I honestly feel like we have the best commissioner in sports, because Adam Silver is not afraid to listen to players and people around him. Where David Stern was kind of like, you better put that suit on. Adam Silver ain't on it. Yeah. Adam Silver ain't on it. And all of a sudden, since Adam Silver has gotten to office and taken over the role of being commissioner, all of a sudden you see guys coming in with, outfits that me and you wouldn't wear, but they swagging how they want to swag. Now we done saw this past offseason. I believe last offseason they had 6 coaches, African Americans, get hired for as head coaches. I'm just trying to see what the hell going on in the NFL, bro.
Perk, I got to touch on something you just said about Adam Silver, though. And I'm going to get this to all of our young entrepreneurs and just some game that me and Perk like to give y'all. You have a better working environment when you allow people to be themselves. Oh, Lord, I know that's a mouthful because everybody you got bosses that want you to wear a suit and tie every day. You got bosses that want you to do things a certain way.
Well, I know you did. I know you did. Say it again.
You got bosses that want you to suit and tie. You got bosses that want you to walk a certain way, talk a certain way.
No. Before that, what was that line?
Oh, you need that line?
Yeah, dog.
You have a better working environment, CEOs, bosses, people on the top, if you allow people to be themselves.
Come on.
Okay?
Come on.
Our company right now is doing that.
Yeah.
Like, we try to, we take a lot of pride, Perk, in not being company guys. Like we different and we understand that. Yeah. But I do got to shout ESPN out on that. It's just like any other big company, but ESPN ain't never one time, or anybody from ESPN ain't never one time told me, Swagu, you got to stop saying damn so much. I say damn in real life a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like the suit game is not a necessity every day on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How we talk, how we pronounce things ain't gotta be pristine when it come out of our mouth all the time. And this is specifically for me and you when it comes to that, because it was different when we started doing what we was doing.
Right.
I was country as hell. My twang was too south. I would talk too slow. All of that. I heard it all. Right. And respectfully, I ain't hear that from people at ESPN. They was like, hey man, do you be yourself? Be yourself. Right. But outside of that, Perk, what you talking about? And let's get to these black coaches, man, not being hired. I'm tired of, no, to answer your question, no, it ain't the players union. No, it ain't the commissioner. It's 31 white owners.
Mm.
That's what it is. All right. And look, Perk, we've talked about this ad nauseum with the NFL. Until 31 white owners, and I say 31 because one is, well, technically 30. The Green Bay Packers are owned by a quote unquote the group. Like the fans have part ownership, but all of their representation are white males.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Shad Khan in Jacksonville, who obviously is not a white man, but he hired Urban Meyer. So he don't get no pass. Hopefully this work out in Jacksonville going forward. But man, listen, bro. I scream for Eric Bieniemy. I scream for Byron Leftwich. I scream for Jim Caldwell. I screamed for Lovie Smith. I like all of these black coaches. Pep Hamilton is a phenomenal coach. Don't ever hear his name in the cycle. Mm-hmm. But Kellen Moore have a good season and they put up some numbers offensively. He become the next hot thing. Pep Hamilton, all Pep Hamilton did when he was with the Los Angeles Chargers was groom Justin Herbert into being Rookie of the Year.
That's
when
it.
He ain't even know he was playing.
That's it.
Right? So I there is no Perk. If you're looking for answers, it ain't no validation. It ain't none.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why there's no answers. Because the people that we need to answer the question, they push Roger Goodell out there. And they push general managers out there. And they let the public discourse talk about it. It's owners. Guys own NFL teams. If Jerry Jones walked out of his suite down to the news conference and said, I am going to hire the best black coach that I can find to coach my football team. That's what has to happen.
That's what has to happen.
That's what has to happen. You don't get mad at me and in your case, you being an analyst for the NBA. Don't get mad at Stephen A. or Mike Wilbon or Tony Cornhouse. We ain't doing it.
Yeah.
We ain't making the decision.
Right.
Perk, we got people that get mad at us because black coaches ain't getting hired because we don't talk about it enough. Dog, how long? Like 15 years ain't enough? 30 years ain't enough? We ain't just started the black coach being hired conversation in the NFL. But I'm gonna tell you this, Perk, and I'm gonna leave it at this because I'm actually sick of talking about it, but I'm never gonna stop talking about it.
You better not.
Until we hold these owners accountable. See, that's the difference in y'all league. LeBron can walk into and talk to Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I don't know one player in the NFL outside of quarterbacks with the type of rapport with ownership to say, hey, coach, hey, just take Tom Brady, for instance, when he was in New England. Hey, Coach Kraft, what about an African-American head coach? What about a black head coach? This guy's phenomenal at what he do. I'm not putting it on the onus of Tom Brady. What I'm saying is players in the NFL don't have the ear of ownership. And players in the NFL. And players in the NFL are a part of why people come to those stadiums.
Yeah.
See, in the NBA, they coming to see y'all.
Yeah.
Or that mug gonna be empty.
Yeah.
In the NFL, people coming to enjoy the festivities. They coming to have the stadium experience. They drinking beer. They eating good. All of that. So all of those things can kind of muddy up the issue at hand. And the elephant in the room, Perk, is always going to be this. Until majority of these white owners who are all over the age of 60 decide that they want to hire and employ black coaches on merit, not because they black. Let me make that clear too, because I'm not mad at one of these hires for these white coaches. I think all of them are good coaches. I think every hire that's been made for these vacancies in the NFL that were occupied by white coaches, I think all of them are really good coaches.
Yeah, but they are. But here's the unfair thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'm about to tell you, the problem is it's black coaches too that's really good.
Yeah.
And the problem, the problem is at sometimes I got a better resume than my white counterparts. And they getting jobs. And then when it's even, I'm not getting a job.
Yeah.
So for all of these, because Perk, we going through it and we mad at it, but imagine being the guy that's interviewing year after year after year after year and not getting a job and not getting a job and still producing, having success as a coach. Your teams are winning. Things are happening good and can't get hired.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I think I got one little solution, big bro. Look, you got to take those minor steps to get where you're trying to go.
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna take a franchise quarterback. It's gonna take a franchise quarterback like a Mahomes, like a Joe Burrow, like a Lamar Jackson. It's gonna take one of those guys to go and say, I want this guy as my coach and set the standard. I thought Tom Brady was gonna be the one to kind of set the tone, but I will give Tom Brady this. Tom Brady has done a lot of things for us taking chances on guys that people didn't want to take chances on.
100%.
And I respect them for that.
And to your point though, Perk, to your point though, and you're right, but that ain't their responsibility. Bro, anything, let me tell you this, because me and you gonna do this podcast for a number of years as it grows and gets bigger. Let me tell you this, bro. Any conversation that anybody have with me, Swagu, I'm not talking about anything when it comes to hiring black coaches if we not talking about the owners. I don't care about any, because if all of that stuff mattered, bro, they got a Rooney rule. They literally have a rule that you have to interview minority coaches. Perk, I tell people this all the time. I get it, and I understand that I'm a black man in this country. Yep. And I understand what this country has done, because I'm making it a broader topic, but I'm making this point. And I understand what the L's and the things that happen in this country are. I know that. I'm a proud black man. But Perk, I still don't subscribe to the fact that there are laws that had to be put in place for us to have equality that are still on the books. But we could go way deep with this conversation, but I'm telling you, bro, I'm not only when somebody asks me about a black coach being hired in the NFL,
it's straight to the coach,
straight to the owners.
Owners, my bad. Straight to the owners.
Straight to the owners. I don't want to talk about nothing else. I don't want to talk about Roger Goodell. I don't want to talk about general managers. I don't want to talk about, well, you know, this guy. Have you talked to the owners? Have you expressed these things to the owners?
They don't want to talk.
There you go.
You already know. There you go. But look, listen, we got to dive into something last but not least.
I love when we get to spin that real.
That real, because we could dive on that all day. I was sitting back like, don't stop.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we got to dive into something else.
Some good.
Something else. We got to end on something that, you know what I mean? It was pictures that surfaced, okay? ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. Yeah, man, Rihanna is expecting a baby.
Yes,
and you know, I you know, shout out to them though, real talk.
Shout out, bro.
It's a beautiful thing to be expecting a child. You know what I mean? And look, I was telling somebody the other day, telling one of my homeboys who just had a child. I said this here, man. I said, you know that old saying that they used to say, well, still say to this day, me and you can't relate because you don't have children. And until you have a child, then you can understand. And then you sit back and say, oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But hey, are you all right? You cool?
I'm not all the way 100.
What's wrong?
Because in my mind, okay.
What's wrong, dog?
In my mind, bro, Rihanna was like, that was my second life or something. Like we were supposed to be a family. And Perk, I'm home. My wife right there in the next room. We're supposed to be a family, man. RiRi done went off and got pregnant on me, bro. She done went off and got pregnant on me. But nah, man, let me quit playing. I did feel this. And two, this is a part of, you know, you and I have talked about this on past shows. First, congratulations to them. One, they've stayed out the public eye. And I think that relationship is real.
Yeah.
I always gauge the celebrity relationship on how much they avoid the cameras.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. Some of them still fail, but I think I've liked the way that they've moved. And then this announcement for Rihanna, bro, it reminded me of the type of pressure, like when the parent's legacy precedes the child, and then the child has to quickly be reminded, you don't have to be me. You don't have to accomplish what I accomplished to feel valued or worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Preacher.
So every time I see like these bigger than life, larger than life, quote unquote celebrities or whatever, get to the point where they start having children, it always is in the back of my mind, like, just from day one, just tell them the best you is you.
Yeah.
The best you is you. And we deal with it on the small level with our kids, because people have an expectation of what they should be in sports. But it's always, for me, like, man, you know, my oldest daughter, great volleyball player, but I tell her, go out and play your game.
Your game.
Your game. You ain't living up to the Spears name and all of that. Forget all that. You make your own name.
Yeah.
You do all of this. So I'm just, we had to spend this last few minutes congratulating Rihanna, man. RiRi.
It's called growth.
It's growth, man.
It's growth. It's growth. And it's a beautiful thing to see, and I wish them well. But look, this is how we go in like we always do. One, I love you, brother. Two, we gotta make, sooner or later, we gotta do this twice a week because the people are asking for it.
It's time.
Cousins, okay?
It's time.
But I told them, be patient.
Yep.
Be patient. But three, I need you to drop that line to end what you started with from the beginning of that conversation.
Hey,
what did you say?
CEOs, bosses, if you're in charge of a company, your company will be better. Production will be better if you allow people to be themselves. Bye, y'all.
Bye.